Kennedy will now be restored to the program in the form of little Bobby Price, who brought an actual smart person on the program, which is not unprecedented, but it's rare.
The average IQ in the room just went up by
About 40
20
points.
Yeah,
Too kind.
Yeah.
Speaking of health, there was an old water jar in the hallway. I'm not going to get like cholera or anything.
Probably, yeah. Zika. Oh.
Let us know. Let us know how you feel
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Were there a lot of mosquitoes buzzing around it?
I look kind of low and kind of warm.
Yep, that's all I'm saying. It's a hot spot.
You can end up with malaria.
That's how Houdini died.
That's how Houdini died, you know.
Yeah. At any rate, Bob, tell us what this is about.
Well, I'm here with Jeff Flores, Flores with an S.
Yes, Flores
who
with
is a member of the Kern High School District Board of Trustees.
Yes, sir.
And you've been on the board for just about 2 years.
2 years, brand new.
And already running for re-election.
Correct.
Despite the fact that it's been a really eventful 2 years, especially an eventful year.
It has. In current high school district years, it's like 8 years maybe.
Yeah, I would say.
Is it true that every time when you guys convene a meeting, they play the theme song from the Benny Hill Show? Because if they don't, they should. I'd like to recommend that right now.
Okay. They haven't yet, but we're trying to avoid that theme song.
All right.
Yeah, are people sort of shell-shocked, like waiting for the next thing to like pop up on their screen?
They are. I think we've had a tough 90 days news cycle, but it's one that I welcome because it means that we're going to hold people accountable. We're going to ask the tough questions. We're going to have a critical lens. And when you do those types of things, it shakes things up. And I don't think the culture of that district is not used to that approach. It's very large. It's very insular. It's very defensive. And so some of these growing pains and tug of wars are playing out, so to speak.
Well, let me run down, if memory will serve me, some of the exciting little controversies you've had. Maybe you can just give kind of a quick little synopsis.
Sure.
Tell me where we are. The Klatz situation. The
Kletz.
Kletz.
There you go.
Kletz. Thank you. I was trying to.
Kletz,
I was
definitely.
wrestling with that earlier. The law enforcement database.
Sure. That one is playing out, but just for context, some of our administrators were using this criminal justice system for non-law enforcement purposes, which is a big no-no and illegal. And so our chief of police, Joe Lopetegui, brought that up to the district's attention, and subsequently, Kern County Sheriff's Office did an investigation, looked into some of the allegations, and found some. They were looking up students for boundary purposes and special ed kid, an employee, and 241 hits over 1 year, which is very excessive, I believe. In any case, the sheriff's office turned that over to the district attorney's office, and the district attorney decided, based on statute of limitations and other issues, not to press charges. So that's still playing out. And other agencies kind of took a look at this. Department of Justice, there was some civil rights issues involved, and our district has been working, trying to cooperate, do the right thing. And the latest is District Attorney Lisa Green has turned this over to the Tulare County District Attorney to do a formal investigation once again. That's in addition to the investigation that our district is also doing internally on a parallel track.
And what's the course of the internal investigation? How is that going to play out?
Still in the process, so we don't have all the details or the information yet. But as far as I know, they're interviewing a lot of staff, a lot of key people, and it's a good firm out of Sacramento. And when we have
the firm that's conducting the investigation?
Law firm, correct.
Okay.
That specializes in public safety.
And using a local firm would have been out of the question.
Yes.
Because there's the nepotism is already rampant anyway. It's the last thing we need is a local bunch of people trying to look into this.
Well, I usually go local, but for this one, I don't think we have the local investigative private expertise to do it, A. And B, the two local law enforcement entities that we had still had to kick it to another jurisdiction to the north of us. So we had to go outside. But we look forward to the results. And
now, are you guys... Is the idea that you guys take some type of administrative action, or because if they come back with another recommendation to press charges, the DA already took a pass? Are they gonna take a look at it again and to change their mind?
Well, a couple of things. They will take a look at it again, but in addition to the first series of allegations, new allegations have arisen that warrants more investigation. So we might have some additional results that may warrant some prosecution, depending on what they find. I don't know what they found yet because it's still
No, it's hard to imagine the DA's office going, yeah, before we took a pass, but now we're going to prosecute it. That's hard to imagine.
So why is it it's in the hands of the Tulare District Attorney?
correct. And whatever new allegations and revelations are in the new investigation, that may be an impetus for more prosecution.
Yeah. I just imagine. I don't think that looks really bad for the DA's office when they take a pass, and then another DA's office comes and says, "Oh no, you're not. We're prosecuting."
Yeah. So what's at stake here? I mean, are people's jobs at stake? Obviously, there's the potential for criminal prosecution, but beyond that,
what's at stake is our students' privacy and our employees' privacy, and we need to follow the law like any other jurisdiction that uses CLETs. And if we find that there were abuses of that system, and it reaches a criminal level, then we as a board we need to take a look at that and have an appropriate discipline or sanction in addition to what law enforcement does, because it's just unacceptable. Parents and our constituents, they don't want to see that happening.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we'll take a break. We'll talk because there's a lot of other stuff that spins off of this that we need to talk about. Sure. But that's up to Bob because it's his guest, right, Bob?
That's right.
And way to wear a tie today too, make everybody else look bad. We'll be right back. It's First Look program, News Talk 1180, the new 96.1 KERN. We're streaming live on the internet at Bakersfield.com. And Jeff Flores is here. Well, we'll let Bob. This is Bob's segment. He gets to tell you what's up. That's just the deal.
Have I expressed annoyance before about this whole segment of mine not being a segment of mine? Is that why you keep saying it like that?
No, I don't know. You never did. No, but it's fair. I mean, I tend to manipulate the proceedings, and I'm sorry, that's not right.
You're a large personality.
For 3 hours a day, that's my job. But when somebody else brings a guest, that's your guest.
But not when Bill Thomas is in studio.
No.
Well, that's a whole different deal.
No,
there.
Bill Thomas is self-manipulating. You don't have to worry about that.
Deposition. Ooh.
No kidding. I've been through that. Well, anyway, Jeff Flores of the Kern High School District. We were talking earlier, just a little while ago, about the whole CLETS situation. So much stuff going on, though. So much exciting, troubling, in some cases, things. Before the show, we were talking about the whole transgender bathroom thing. That discussion goes back several weeks ago. But where is that now? What's happened?
Where that's at is where it's been. It's been on the books for 2 years, but in our district, it seems to be a new occurrence when it should not. If you look at every district in Kern County, every school district, and every school district in the state of California, this is state law. It's not an issue anywhere. And it's not reflective of my position on the issue, but we have to follow state law. But our district chose to take it up, put it on the agenda, even though there was no action item or there was no vote, politicize it for 7 or 8 hours, and then in the end take no action. And it was the same night that we had the biggest issue in education in over a decade, which is how we allocate state funding in our budget. We adopted our high school budget for the fiscal year the same night. And the biggest change in educational funding in a decade, the LCAP, where we moved from categorical funding to local control, we spent 3 minutes.
Wow.
Jeez.
So,
wow.
But why? And again,
so a little bit of mission drift.
That's full sideways mission drift, because social engineering or whatever you think, that's not what school boards are supposed to do. You're not supposed to, we'll put guns in every classroom. It's not your gig. You guys have to go along with state law, even if you hate it.
Correct.
Otherwise, you're just looking for very expensive troubles that we don't need or can afford.
The fear, I would assume, was that some creepy kid or kids were going to show up at school in skirts so I could go into the girls' bathroom and terrorize them.
Because it's that easy. Yeah.
When in fact, what's been the outcome?
I think we have first of all students deserve the right to safety. I grew up with the dichotomy of boys use boys' restrooms, girls use girls' restrooms, and it worked well. But it's not what Jeff Flores wants. It's what state law says, and we have to follow state law. And so far, we haven't had incidents. We accommodate on a case-by-case basis.
And about how many accommodations have you made?
Probably less than 10.
Less than 10 for a school district with 22 schools?
32 school
32
sites
schools, wow.
And 38,000 students. And we accommodate probably less than 10 in a safe manner that doesn't impact either population. I go to the doctor and there's a nice unisex restroom and I do my thing in private. I don't have to make a big deal of it.
You've not been offended yet by the fact that there's a unisex bathroom at your doctor's office?
Nope. Works
Yeah,
in the
good.
airplanes and it works in doctor's offices. It probably works down the hall.
Yeah.
My wife works at a doctor's office. They have one too, but I'm not allowed to use it. I'm banned.
Because of that incident?
I don't know what it is. My wife says, "Oh no, you're not going in there."
Okay.
And she's the office manager. What am I going to do, Bob?
Well, good point. Good point.
Wife wins.
Wife, usually, yeah.
Every
usually wins.
single time.
Took me a while to realize that, but wife wins and I'm doing okay now.
Yeah, good, good. So what's the latest on the concealed carry permit gun thing on campus?
There's actually 2 layers to that onion. The first layer we peeled off a couple months ago, which was there's a state law called SB 707, which basically criminalized law-abiding citizens who have, for over many, many years, have accessed our campuses with CCWs, without incident. And so after this bill took effect, if your mom or your dad or your brother came to a campus, came to a football game, or picked up their son or daughter, was now a criminal act. And so our board took action to vote to not criminalize that because state law gave us the power to grant exemptions on a case-by-case basis. So that was what we enacted, and so far it's working okay. It's just a continuation of what we've always had. The second layer to that onion is a little bit more controversial, and it has yet to come before our board, which is talk of arming staff and teachers with weapons, which to me is a totally different, equation here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we'll give that some treatment. But I'd like to get back to education.
What?
Imagine that, and
Yeah.
test scores and expulsions, and being the best district we can be. But we'll probably give that some more treatment in the coming months.
Expulsion's been a big deal because of such as the high number that the current high school district had for so long. Is that changing? Have you changed policy to try to?
Great question. One of the reasons I first ran 2 years ago was that our expulsions at Kern High School District were off the charts, quite literally. Highest probably in the state, definitely in the national spotlight. We were on the radar screen for Department of Justice, social justice groups, you name it. We were hovering at the high end in the 2000s, in the moderate end 1500s, which is just unacceptable, right? These are people that they're not in school, we're not collecting ADA. They're not graduating, they're not having jobs. They're not having jobs, they're breaking into your car at night. And so, it's just a chain reaction.
Very direct link. Has been drawn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now the status is, we've embraced some positive discipline strategies that are working out quite well. These are not
Such as mediation.
there's peer mediation. There's something called PBIS,
Right.
positive behavior intervention and supports, restorative justice, new paradigms of dealing with student discipline, and it's data driven. It's working across the nation. It's working well in our district, and it's wonderful. We have real reductions now. To last year, 64, not cosmetic, not artificial, the real deal. And these are the great things that are happening at the Kern High School District.
From
that I was
hundreds
talking
of expulsions to 64.
from thousands,
Thousands.
to 64 in the last year.
Wow.
And it's at various stages across different high school sites, and it's working. BHS is our leader on this. They've been out front, and ask Principal David Reese. It's called the Driller Way, and it's working.
Yeah. Wow. Great.
He seems like a good principal. He's a nice guy.
Nice
When
guy.
you're around him, we're like, man, I'm glad that guy's a principal.
Yeah.
Yeah, good egg.
He walks and talks like a good principal.
So you're running for how often do you have to run for your to keep your seat?
Ordinarily, every 4 years.
But-
The difference for me is I was fulfilling the latter half of a 4-year term for my predecessor, Trustee Bill Perry. So mine is up quicker than the rest. So
Yeah,
after
you're-
first two,
You're
and
off
then
cycle a little bit.
off cycle, and then I'm all guns blazing, no pun intended, for my next.
Although
four-year-
until you might
four-year
want
term.
to at least until you get real. I'd go all Yosemite Sam on this one. I'd bring 2 or 3 guns to the meeting, just shoot them into the ceiling. Yeah, I like the cut of that guy's jib.
Yeah.
You don't want to be seen as anti-gun or
No,
anti-Jesus.
I'm pro
until
Second
after the
Amendment,
election.
and I defend my household, but I think our algebra teacher needs to teach algebra.
And the teachers think that too is the thing.
They
I think
do.
the consensus
I think a lot of
is-
them do.
the
Well,
consensus
best of
is-
luck to you. You
Thanks so
want to? I think the easiest thing I would give up if I were you. Not because you can't get. I mean, I would just say this is a clown. This is a circus. I'm out. I don't want anything to do with these idiots anymore. But if all the smart people do that, then you're left with just the idiots, and everything gets dumber. So keep the fight up, man.
Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome. We're gonna take a break. We got Datelines coming up here in a couple of minutes. Or yep.
And congratulations to the paper's 150th anniversary.
Thank you.
Sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial. Yeah.
We have
I
any-
can't pronounce that, but
I have no idea what he just said, but thank
150 years.
Okay.
That's a long time. That's a long time for in the newspaper business.
you. That's right. I've been here the entire time.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on that. When we get through the Datelines thing too, because they're having a little sort of mini updates coming in on this chucklehead. Apparently, in the taking this guy into custody, one law enforcement officer was shot and took a round to the vest. He's fine, and another one was shot in the hand. He's also fine, and we know that the bad guy was shot in the exchange, but apparently his injuries are minor as well. So this guy didn't go down easily. He put up a little bit of a fight. And if you're just joining us, the guy everybody said they were looking for these bombings over the weekend, they've caught him. He got in a little tangle with law enforcement in Linden, New Jersey this morning and was shot and then taken into custody.